injury attorneys at The Advocates can't actually prevent you from being in a cycling accident, they will be by your side to support you following your accident. Our legal services won't cost you a dime out of pocket. So when you need an injury attorney, call us. We're The Advocates, your Utah personal injury attorneys. You didn't deserve to be in an accident, but you do deserve an advocate.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show is live on your YouTube machine as always. We're presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. If you find yourself in a car accident, if you find yourself injured at work, did you step in a pothole? Did you hear about this lady suing her city, the city she lives in, because she notified them there's a pothole, and then she stepped in it and broke her ankle. Didn't deserve to break your ankle, but you do deserve an advocate at theadvocates.com, where you can chat with an attorney live online 24/7, 365, and it won't cost you a dime at The Advocates. Good Tuesday already. It is Tom, the last day of a hellacious April. I am quite excited for April to come to an end. This has not been the most productive month ever. And if you are the LA Lakers, how about this story breaking overnight from Dave McMenamin with lots of ends? Is it any surprise the Lakers lose last night? Jamal Murray hits another game-winning shot. Lakers were as frustrated as you can be.
Yeah.
And I think justifiably so. They played their ass off and they still got beat. And I'll continue to say this goes back to you won a championship in the bubble, and then you let guys like Kuzma go, and you let KCP go, and you let Caruso go, and you just didn't have the horses to compete. And so now you rely on guys like D'Angelo, and you rely on guys who, frankly, Jared Vanderbilt, who just can't stay healthy and contribute. I think the Lakers did this to themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the issue in this series for the Lakers is depth, no question about it.
Yes,
and I think that the starting five is good enough, but you got to have something behind your starting five, and if you don't have anything behind it, you're just not going to beat teams like Denver in their building. And so it winds up being this thing where, Jamal hits another game-winning shot and everyone's like, oh, well, it's Jamal. It's Jamal. Well, no, it's not Jamal. Yeah, he hit the shot, but the reason you were in that position is because you're not productive in the non-LeBron minutes. At some point, LeBron's got to sit. He can't play 48 minutes every single night. He can't play, the entire game, every single minute of every game. So I don't know. Everyone's going to scapegoat Darvin Ham. Everyone's going to, blame this guy or that guy. But the reality is the roster's not built the right way. And this has been the Lakers' conundrum for years now. How aggressively can we play the salary cap, luxury tax game, while also, trying to contend? And it got him this year. It did. It absolutely did.
Well, I also think there's a lot to consider around who your head coach is. I think Darvin Ham is not a championship caliber coach. He's unproven. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And when you rely on a guy like Darvin Ham to lead a bunch of ragtag guys that are surrounding LeBron and Anthony Davis, because we could sit here and we could joke about Anthony Street Clothes Davis. The guy played 76 games. The guy's an MVP candidate. He is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I mean, the guy in Anthony Davis was their best player this year, but LeBron was right there with him. And we can sit here and we could talk about, hey, is LeBron going to retire? Or LeBron's not retiring, in my opinion. But you have to go and get an experienced head coach. I look at this very much like I look at the Phoenix Suns situation. You have to go and find a guy who knows how to handle big personalities. Those guys don't grow on trees, my friends. Those are very difficult coaches to find. It's why Doc Rivers continues to have a job, right? Because he is an experienced guy who's won It's guys like Mike D'Antoni who haven't gotten another shot that I think probably get a shot this cycle. It's why we took guys like Rick Carlisle in Dallas so for granted.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that we take for granted in this league, and we continue to take risks on guys that are career assistant coaches, the Jacques Vaughns of the world, and they oversee disasters, and they wind up getting fired. Darvin Ham was a nice little pickup, I guess. He was not an NBA caliber head coach, and certainly not a guy that was going to navigate the minefields of Los Angeles with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And I think the other issue that we've got to clearly talk about is, and we had this in our members only chat last night, talking about what is the formula to win in the NBA. Are we seeing, I think Brandon Butler asked if we're seeing the end of super teams. We're not seeing the end of super teams. You've got to have the same formula that has always been the formula and is currently the formula. You have to grow your stars. You have to home grow your stars. I don't know, like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, but how important is Gordon? How important is KCP? How important are the role players in Denver to the guys that you brought up? How important were the role players like Kevin Durant to Steph, Clay, and Dre? If you look at Michael Pippen and Horace Grant, for instance, you bring in Steve Kerrs, you bring in Judd Bushlers, both of whom hit big shots. It goes on and on and on. Kobe, you don't have Kobe and Shaq unless you draft Kobe and you trade for Shaq. You've got to have homegrown stars in this league with coaches who know how to handle those personalities. You also have to spend your money smartly. And if you're the Lakers, you have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Who's your homegrown guy? You don't have a homegrown star. If you're the Phoenix Suns, at least you have Devin Booker, who's your guy. But what's the biggest issue in Phoenix? You've got $150 million plus committed to 3 guys, and they're not a natural fit. It's a mistake. You can no longer go out and believe that you can buy a championship. You have to, in my opinion, in this league, you have to draft well, and you have to have, in my opinion, smart money spent. The Lakers and the Suns do not. Denver does.
Yeah, no question about it. And I think the Lakers, again, are that franchise that is always looking to spend money and just kind of put themselves in the best spot they can through free agency and trades instead of the draft. And I think this is the price you pay. And, I think everyone wants to obsess over LeBron's future and Bronny and like what's going to happen. And the reality is the Lakers should be focused on the rest of the roster. LeBron, I think, will be there. They just need to figure out how the money's going to work with that. But they need to look at the rest of the roster. And really, if you're going to get rid of Darvin Ham, you need to figure out who the head coach is going to be and what they think of the roster you have, because, we never saw, the young guys at the end of the bench this year, really. I mean, you did see Max Christie for a few games here and there. And I'm not saying he should get major minutes, but when you got a roster full of guys who, you got to be careful with the workload. Like, I would have expected Max Christie to get at least some minutes, at least come off the bench, get in some foul trouble, cause some trouble in the game. Like, that's how you can use young guys in the postseason. And that's where I think when you talk about beating teams like Denver, that's how you have to go about beating these teams. And I feel like basketball guys who do it for a living get lost on that fact. Like, what would happen if you brought Max Christie in and tasked him with, hey, like, just play physical with Jamal Murray, like, just get in his jersey a little bit. We're looking to frustrate him a little bit. We're looking to kind of, get in his head a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, just use your expendable guys, use their fouls more. Like, that doesn't happen in the league enough. And so when I look at the Lakers roster, I bring that up because that's your best play with the roster you have. I mean, you've got LeBron, AD, you've got Reeves, you've got D'Lo, like, you've got your contributors, but you're not using the rest of the squad for what they could do, even if it's in a little bit different of a way. And that's where I think you got to find the right head coach to utilize that opportunity.
Yeah, I think I would be on Mike Budenholzer. The guy's got 5 championships. One is a head coach. He's at the right age. He's 54. I think that's where I would be going. I mean, Phil Handy, who's an assistant on that Laker bench, I think a lot of people get excited about him. I don't think you can take a risk in Kenny Atkinson at this point, and I think he is a risk because he's unproven. I think if you are the Lakers, it is Mike Budenholzer or Terry Stotts. I think that's it. Because those are the two guys that are experienced. Those are the two guys who can handle the dynamics that you have at play there. And I think you've got to run it back with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I don't think that you can trade Austin Reeves. I think he's shown you that the development's been too good. The real question is, are you good enough with D'Angelo Russell on the floor? Are you a championship team with D'Angelo Russell on the floor?
Well, I mean, it begs the question based on the scheme they run and the offense they run. It does make me wonder. Hey, if you had a different coach in there who looked at the roster differently, looked at the offense a little bit differently, what could you accomplish? What could you get out of this roster? Because that's a conundrum in like LA and Phoenix, like these teams that have spent loads of money on their stars. Like the question is not, hey, can we trade everybody and reset? No, you're not going to do that. That's not possible. You need to find a guy to come in and maximize what you have laid down already. And so I don't know. I don't know if D'Angelo Russell is a championship caliber player. I do know that he doesn't show up enough in the playoffs. There are far too many 0 for 6s, 0 for 8s, turning it over.
He's a streaky player. There's no doubt.
Yeah. So I also think that the Lakers do much better when they've got a defined point guard bringing the ball up and getting them into their offense.
And he is that. Quickly. And he is that. I think there's no doubt that D'Angelo Russell is that. I think this is going to be one of the most transformative summers we've seen in some time.
Yeah.
In the Western Conference, because you just have too many questions in Golden State. You have too many questions in Phoenix, too many questions with the Lakers. And I don't know where you go from here. If you are the LA Lakers, is Rob Pelinka the guy you want to rebuild that roster? I'm not sold on that. Not with Bob Myers sitting out there. I'm not sold on that. I mean, don't you have to go and look at every position in that front office? That's what championship caliber teams do.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other question is Jeannie Buss and her group, are they championship caliber owners? I think they certainly have empowered their basketball people to basketball, and they haven't done it well. I don't know. I don't know what you do in Phoenix and LA, because there's no easy way out. If you are the Lakers and the Suns, I think you stand pat. Because I don't think, and just talking to some basketball people yesterday, like Bradley Beal has very little trade value because of the money he's owed.
Yeah.
And I think most people believe that they would not trade Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. They just would not. And those guys always have, because of their, like, you're not trading Kevin Durant. Everybody makes a big deal about, how Bradley Beal has a no trade. And everybody, do you think Kevin Durant's got a no trade? Kevin Durant's going to go where he wants to go.
Yeah.
You're not sending him anywhere. He's going to go where he wants to go. And I think that's the hard part about the NBA right now is it's a players' league. It's not an owners' league. So if you're the Suns and the Lakers, I think you have to tweak. You don't have to reformat.
Yeah, and I think, again, you have to find a way to get these teams to play the way they need to, right? Like more systematic, targeted, strategic offense. Like so often in the league, like I'm telling you guys, like it is far too often that offenses just go, hey, set the pick, drive the paint, kick the ball. Like we see that way too much. So teams are figuring out how to defend that. And it's like, hey, you got to actually like run an offense to get your guy the open look. Like that's where, like when during the tournament, that's why UConn had so much success, because Hurley had them run an offense that got their dudes high percentage look after high percentage look that was essentially uncontested. And that's what today's NBA for these teams needs to turn into. If Kevin Durant or Devin Booker are shooting at the elbow, you're going to be in a great spot. But they weren't doing that for most of the series.
Yeah. And I would remind you that the 2025 offseason is when the Lakers gain flexibility. I mean, you have 7 guys, including LeBron, Anthony Davis, and D'Lo, that are all free agents. LeBron and D'Lo are on player options this year. Can't believe D'Lo, opts out of $18 million with the Lakers.
Yeah.
That'd be surprising. Anthony Davis is at 43.2. LeBron's at 51.4. And I continue to insist, and I know that people always get crazy when I say it, he's still arguably the best player in the NBA. I mean, LeBron James is still producing at a very high level. You cannot look at what he did this season and this postseason in particular and think that he's done.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to be done, which I just don't buy that. I think LeBron is very smart and wants to be in the spotlight. And I think he knows by refusing to answer questions last night, he keeps himself in the spotlight.
And I think that, we as, the basketball world loves LeBron James, the free agent. Where is LeBron going to play with Bronny? And it's like, dude, he's not going anywhere. He may opt out and they may restructure or, figure out the money or whatever, but he's going to be a Laker in my opinion. And yeah, I think, you saw, I think that you saw maybe a little bit of regression out of LeBron in this series, like just missing some shots. And I mean, it's the end of the season. He's tired. Like everybody's tired, there's no doubt, but there's no getting away from that. This guy can still be the core of your team and help you get to where you want to go. Now, he's not going to take you there alone, but he can certainly lead the team. And again, that's the one big thing I see between the Lakers and the Suns that really is a defining factor. They both lose in the first round, but the difference is that the Lakers do have a leadership sort of tier or totem pole, if you will, pecking order, and the Suns don't. And I think that's part of the Bradley Beal conundrum with the Suns that the Lakers just simply don't deal with. The Suns have got to figure out who's going to be their sixth man. And it should be Bradley Beal, in my opinion. It should be Book and KD in the starting five, Beal coming off the bench for, 25, 30 minutes a night, whatever it winds up being. And that gives you huge flexibility. It's like when they put D'Lo on the bench in Lakerland, right? It gives you more flexibility. And by the way, I'm sure Bradley Beal is going to feel a little more motivated while he's pissed off coming off the bench to actually produce. And that's where I think the Suns and these teams need to figure it out. You have to figure out how to get your third option to produce. And that's why the Lakers lost this series, because they don't really have a third option. They got to define that guy.
Yeah, and I think Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, your defensive guys that you brought in being hurt and not available to you, you can't have that again. You just can't. But again, I start with the Lakers and the Suns, and I am with the Lakers and the Suns when I say Darvin Ham, you've got to make a change there. You've got to make a change in Phoenix. Mike D'Antoni, I think, is the right guy in Phoenix because you got a run and gun there, in my opinion. And I think Boot is the guy that I would hire in LA. He's 54. He's at the perfect age. Yeah. He's been a part of 5 championships. One as a head coach in Milwaukee. That's the guy I would hire.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. He's experienced. He's not going to panic. He knows what to do. He knows how to relate to players. Like, that's what I would do. And if I'm the Lakers, I do everything that I can do to go and get another proven guy. If Klay Thompson's standing in the corner, dude, you're a much better basketball team right now.
Yes.
So I would do everything that I can do to get better, to replace Vanderbilt and Cam Reddish is a disappointing one because he is a really good defensive player and he just was not available to you. And you're sitting here wondering about injuries. You can't be wondering about injuries. And I know everybody has them, but finally it wasn't Anthony Davis. And we can sit here and talk about how this series would have been different if they were healthy, but they weren't. One Eastern note that I think is interesting. How good are the Boston Celtics? Kristaps Porzingis last night, and they say it's not an Achilles injury. He has an ankle injury and a calf injury on his left leg. Come on. Like, the Boston Celtics are living and dying on Kristaps Porzingis right now. And yes, they got to win. Yes, I thought it was imperative. We talked about it on the show yesterday. In my opinion, this is not a championship team.
Yeah, I just don't think that they have the right vibe. They don't have the right, like, I guess culture maybe, or like they've never just had the right dynamic, and they've had different head coaches, and this tandem of Tatum and Brown, just doesn't have the goods, and I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how
Hmm.
you overcome that, because yeah, when they're going good, they're going great. They've showed they can be a team that can play systematic offense and move the ball, and that provides them wide open look after wide open look. But somehow in the playoffs, it just changes. It absolutely changes. And unlike Denver, they don't have the ability to adapt to who they're playing and still have success. And that to me is the hallmark of this Boston team. That's what I will remember. Hey, these two with the surrounding cast could not figure out how to beat LeBron when they were going up against the Cavs and LeBron James led teams. You couldn't figure that out, right?
Yeah.
You haven't been able to really get over the hump with with Miami, right? You've never really been able to put Miami to bed like permanently. Like, hey, we're better than you. We're not scared of you. Like, the idea that Miami's giving you trouble in this series without Jimmy Butler is absolutely wild about Eric Spoelstra as a head
Well,
coach.
and what happens if Derek White doesn't go off last night?
Yeah, right? Like,
With
exactly.
Porzingis playing 8 or 14 minutes? 14 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what worries you. And I think when you look at the rest of the way these other teams are playing, and I fully expect the Knicks to eliminate the Sixers tonight. And you've got a hell of a series going on with Cleveland and Orlando. The Pacers and the Bucks are going head to head, even though the Bucks are wounded. Clearly, I think the Knicks are the best team in the East, and it would be tough for me to pick the Celtics over the Knicks head to head.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Celtics have an answer for Brunson. And I really don't think you have an answer for Brunson when Mitchell Robinson plays, because those two, that option for Brunson to be feeding a guy like Robinson is wild. Like, I don't know how you stop that, especially when you consider that guys like Porzingis are struggling physically, and Al Horford's not keeping up with Mitchell Robinson. That ain't happening.
Yeah, it'll be, we'll see. It'll be very interesting to see how all this plays out, but I think you're looking at a potential changing of the guard. I don't believe LeBron is going to retire. He's playing too well. The guy is he's an ass kicker. I mean, he's tough. He plays every night. LeBron shows up every night. He's still one of the best players in the NBA. I don't think he retires.
Yeah.
I don't. I could absolutely see them drafting Bronny. No doubt about it.
I think he's still got 2 seasons left. Depending on how the Bronny thing goes, could be a third, but 2 seasons at least.
Yeah, we'll see how all that plays out. But here on April 30th, I don't believe for a second that LeBron James is done playing in the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't buy that even for a little bit.
But I will say, I'm really pleased with this NBA cycle that we're in with the playoffs. And, like, this year's playoffs have been much better than the past couple of seasons so far. Like, the Lakers Nuggets dynamic, even though the series wasn't as competitive as I think we'd all like
Good
it
games,
to be.
though.
Really good games, right? Like, you still got game winners. Like, the Lakers had a ton of fight in them last night. And I agree with what you said. Like, the Lakers were in position to win that game, and they just, they
got beat.
Yeah, you got beat. It is what it is. And, I think that the ass kicking that the Wolves laid on the Suns, like, part of me believes that was actually really good for the league, because you can't tell me next year Durant's not going to come back with like a bit of a point to prove.
Well, it wasn't accidental that Kevin Durant said he has a lot going on off the court. I mean, that was not accidentally said. I think he is going to do a Rory McIlroy and focus on his golf game.
Yeah.
Which is to say, Kevin Durant's going to get back in the lab. I think he all but said he had lost his edge on basketball because of what he's got going on off the court. He's a business tycoon. The guy's got an unbelievable business empire.
Yeah.
And that tends to pull you away a little bit, right? He's not Devin Booker, whose whole life is dogs, cars, and playing basketball. Well, and Kardashians. but that's different. He's got other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I think that we saw Kevin regress a little bit this year. And I think that's got to change now.
I just think he clearly was not that alpha, hey, like it's Kevin and everybody else. That was not the dynamic. It was, to me, it felt like it was Book, then kind of everybody else, depending on the night. Some nights it was Brad.
What did we see in the elimination game out of Kevin Durant? We saw another tier. He stepped up. He's attacking the basket. That's who he's got to get back to. So we'll see. It'll be very interesting. Mike Smith first win in this morning. Mountain Mama, hello. NBA shakes up, or CBS shakes up the NFL today, moving out Boomer and Phil. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Adding Matt Ryan, hit the like button. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Very interesting. Jason Kelsey going to ESPN for Monday Night Football. And then on the same day, Travis Kelsey got a contract extension. So good day to be a Kelsey yesterday. Good day to see Mike Smith, Pete Forte. Hello. Ryan Smith's receding hairline. Hello. Did you guys see the story that ESPN did on Justin Zanuck? If you did not read that story, it's on my Twitter feed, The Monty Show, Monty, The Monty Show. I don't know how you put one foot in front of the other with what that dude's got going on at home.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Hello, Jizzy. Hello, Chad Carter, who's not fourth. He's actually fifth. The Buffalo Hunter. Hello. OG Gary, last. Dakota Tubbs, last. Ha, that's the Gary. Okay. That Gary. Okay. That Gary. Okay. Last, take that, Gary. Now hit the like button. Okay. Pootie not letting you type well, or are you getting Navalny? What's going on over there? Caps Lock Friday says, hey, everyone, I want to say something poetic, but can't think of anything.
Well,
okay. Go Cougs.
At least you're honest.
John, hello. Boston Mapes, hello. Mike, do not call me Mikkel Chase. Hello. Hope you have a good day. Hope the family's well. Loner phone. Morning, ladies. Typical. And to which Mama says meow. Yes. Right, meow. UW fan Jim. All of our friends are in this morning.
Yeah.
All of our friends. Mr. Preston, or Jimmy Otson, like 15. Mr. Preston. Hello.
What's up, bud?
Good to see you, Preston. Noel Ramirez. Hello. James.
Magic in 6. Disrespectful ass comment. What are you talking about, bro? Magic in 6.
Well, I mean, if you look at Bancaro.
Yeah, he's playing.
I mean, that dude's on his Viagra Cialis swole.
Yeah, I'm just telling you right now, Donnie knows he needs to win this series, bro. Like, you need to.
I'm a little disappointed in Donnie in this series.
Yeah, he needs to come. He needs to step up a little bit and get it going.
He is, when you go 30-23, 13 in a loss, 18 in a loss, and you're shooting, I think his mean is 21% from 3 in the last 2 games, 25% from 3 in the series.
Garbo.
That's Garbo. That's
because
Garbo.
It's garbage.
You gotta be better than that. Now, he's averaging 4 boards and 5 dimes, and
dude, Prize Picks for tonight has him at 24.5 points.
I think you got to go. I think he is going to have a massive game 5.
Yeah, you got to go more,
because this game 5 will determine. Yeah, I'll go more. I'll go with you on Prize Picks. PrizePicks.com.
Wow.
It happens. PrizePicks.com. Our favorite, the best daily fantasy in the biznatch. PrizePicks.com. I like over on Donnie.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going more on Donnie. 24.5 points tonight in the game. The one that's interesting is Brunson tonight. So
he's so difficult to prize pick with.
Couple of options on Brunson here that I think are really interesting. So straight up, just points that he's going to score tonight in this game. 34.5 seems a little high. Obviously he's capable of 50, but back-to-back games, like that seems a bit risky to me.
You got to go points, rebounds, and assists with him.
Yeah. So when you look at that number, 47.5 points, rebounds, and assists feels a lot more comfortable.
And he's hit it 3 out of his last 5. I hit it every time.
Yeah. So
yeah, I think he's that's where I would go with it.
Yeah.
because I think he's going to have a big game. He knows it's a closeout. I think he knows you've got to end it. I think Paolo Banchero at 21.5 points is a very difficult pick. I think that's very difficult. I love what Banchero's doing, but can you count on him for 22 points? I think that is in a big game when he only had 9 last time out. I don't think you can count on him.
Yeah.
I think that's a very difficult one to predict. So I just go, the other one I love is just points and rebounds. And I think that when you look at Tyrese Maxey at 29.5, Josh Hart at 26.5 points and rebounds.
Oh, Banchero on points and rebounds as well.
Yes.
28.5.
That's better. Dante DiVincenzo, your mom.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. I think I go Banchero 28.5 points and rebounds.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do Donovan 24.5 points more.
Yep.
Jalen mother effing Brunson 47.5 points, rebounds, and assists more. And then Paolo Banchero 28.5 points and rebounds more. And we're going to do a $25 flex play on that.
Okay.
And then we got to do a baseball one as well. My entry is also placed.
Okay.
So
good job, dude.
Pimps are going to
really
pimp.
Nice job, dude.
Pimps are going to pimp.
Vibes feel good on those.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big shout out to Brian Schutz, the newest member of the Monty Show.
Hey, Brian, what do you shoot, bro?
Why can you not everything is sexual on this show?
What?
Grow up.
That wasn't sexual. Me?
You and I both know the truth is the truth.
What?
Make sure you join our membership. You know, we have 2 tiers of membership right here on the Monty program.
Hey, Monty.
You can become an entry-level membership for $2 a month, which gets all your comments highlighted and read. You will notice that if you are a non-member, it's very difficult for us to read your comments because we do get thousands of comments a day. So join the membership at $1.99. All your comments get read. Also at $10 a month, you get into our members-only Instagram group, which is fantastic. Whether it's basketball, football, college football, all that goodness every single day in the members-only chat on Instagram. Join at the members-only level. Hit Jake on Instagram, SLC Jake. He'll add you to the chats. So, hey, Brian Schutz, we appreciate you being a member of the program. Daka to Tubbs, it'll be really nice to see the NBA Finals back in the Garden. Okay.
I mean, I do think this is the best chance of that happening we've had in quite some time.
I would agree. All pro sports are scripted. New York in the finals will make league and network executives happy. I think it would. No doubt about it. Bobby Fowler, morning, guys. Mitchell Robinson is hurt too, but he's always hurt.
Yeah, it's always availability.
Yeah. LeBron is on steroids.
Oh, okay.
That must be it.
That's it.
That must be it. Loaner phone. Been a long, hard struggle under Dolan. The scandals, the ineptitude can all be forgiven with a championship. Yeah, then maybe he sells the
facial
team.
recognition.
Stepanik, hello. Good to see you. Ron Nolan, hello. Just finished off a Denver omelet and a short stack.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for eggs and some pancakes.
We had in Vegas the other day.
Plus wages.
We went to Snooze. Nicest Snooze I've ever been to. I had 3 eggs scrambled, hash browns with sourdough, and a little bit of their brioche French toast. So good. French toast or pancakes?
I'm a pancake guy.
You would be, wouldn't you?
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Exactly. Pancakes or French toast? Man, French toast is tough to beat. Giggity, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Payson, Cougar fan. Oh, my, a Cougar fan no matter what happens or where we go in college football. Okay. Brian Schutz says coffee and the Monty Show. Appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Program.
Thank you. Aaron Wilson, hello. Good to see you, friend. Scott of Greywater Watch. Do y'all think the NBA ratings would be better on NBC instead of TBS?
It's an interesting question.
Well, there is this Amazon Prime Video thing. And now I know that ESPN is not thrilled with it because, as you know, ESPN and the NBA are synonymous and they will continue to have a relationship. But it is said that Amazon Prime Video and the NBA are very close to a deal that would put a significant amount of NBA games on Amazon Prime Sports. How do you feel about that? Like, is that feels like a home run for Amazon?
Yeah, for Amazon, I think it's dynamite. I think, Amazon's on sort of this journey to make
a journey,
like a journey or a track,
solstice,
a
sabbatical,
a transformation of personality to make the consumer correlate them with sports. And Thursday Night Football is one thing, but if you're going to start to have baseball, and then the NBA,
yep,
like you're starting to see Amazon Prime turn into an option that includes sports. And the brilliance of it for both sides, Amazon and the consumer, is that everybody already has Amazon Prime for the most part. Like I literally don't know anybody who does not have an Amazon Prime subscription.
But here's my issue with it. It's clunky as a sports fan because I'm on YouTube TV, then I'm on Amazon Prime, then I'm on Max, then I'm on Your Mom, then I'm on, and this whole flip around thing. Now, I also have an Amazon Fire TV, which is spectacular. So I can I can say, hey, A word, turn on the TV. Hey, turn on Amazon Prime Video. Hey, turn on.
Yeah.
I can do that. But it's just, it's a pain in the ass. I am waiting. And the Fire TV does this. When you turn on the TV, it takes you to your menu and you can go anywhere you want. But it's once you're in an app, then I got to go to the home screen. Then I got to launch another app. Then I got to sign into that app. Who's watching? The best thing I ever did is turn off the who's watching feature on YouTube TV.
Yeah.
Because now I can just turn on YouTube TV, right? But it just feels clunky. I am still waiting, and I'm hoping ESPN's direct-to-consumer is this. I am still waiting for the all-in, here's everybody's content in this one app. I don't know what that looks like. Now, having said that, you get that in Amazon Prime Video. You get a lot of Hulu. You get a lot of crossover. But if you're a sports fan and you're not on Amazon Prime Video, you're not a sports fan. Because college football is going to be there. I think college sports on the whole is going to be there. I think the NBA is going to be there. Obviously, the NFL is already there. Like, there's a lot there already. Major League Baseball isn't Major League Baseball my package
right now. Yeah, so
package.
If you remember the Bally's thing, Amazon Prime picked up a lot of the Bally's in market stuff. So they have Major League Baseball right now.
The package, though.
The package.
My package.
I don't know what the future of that looks like, though. Like long term,
we'll see.
Like does that transition just into Amazon having an MLB subscription service, or like how that works? Because like we have subscription to the MLB app, so we can watch any game we want to outside of Rockies and D-backs for in-market purposes. I
just want to say package.
Yeah, package. Your package isn't large enough, Amazon. That's why they want to add the NBA, and
it's clunky to me. I like the streaming thing. I like not having, we all were sold on this bill of goods that you can save money. We're not saving money because you're subscribing to like 79 different services, whether you even know it or not. Netflix, Amazon, Your Mom, like just all of them.
Yeah.
We have right now in this here Monte Casa,
the compound,
on a daily basis at my house, YouTube TV, Amazon Prime Video, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Hulu, Netflix, and Max. Now, I get a kickback from Amex on Max. They pay for it. They also pay for my New York Times subscription. So membership has its rewards. But I'm still wholly paying for Hulu because I want to watch Shogun. I'm wholly paying for Amazon Prime because, well, it runs my life.
Right.
I might as well be, engaged to Alexa.
Right.
I've asked, she won't tell me anything. She won't.
Is that a real question?
Like, she won't tell me she loves me. She won't, nothing. She won't commit. She has commitment phobia.
Right.
But I'm in on all these services, and it's got to be $200 a month minimum.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
It has to be.
Then you look at the package, Sunday ticket, MLB. I had hockey this year because I love the Blackhawks. NBA I had this year. Jazz Plus, I'll never do it again. It sucks.
Yeah.
You just have you have all this stuff.
The list does not end.
It's hundreds of dollars. Let's see. RJC loaner phone. J2H, am I added to the daily chat?
No, because you're not a member at that level.
Are you a member at that level? We would have to. Do you need to DM Jake and you guys can hash that out? Matt Ritson says French toast over here. Damn right.
No.
OG Gary, French toasts are superior.
No. Dude.
Aaron Wilson, French toast is elite.
Get the hell out of here, bro.
Loaner phone. French toast is legit.
Yeah, now you're not getting in the chat. You're just not. It's not happening.
Conort says Knicks.
Conort.
You changed your name. Conort. Good to see you, bud. Jeremiah Champion. Hello. How's school going for you? Aren't you in school?
Champion.
Amazon is doing good with some of its video lineups. The new show called Fallout is amazing and makes me want to play the game it's based. Ooh, is there a Fallout show?
Didn't know that. See, that's what I mean. How do we not know this
But
stuff?
who's got time for all this shit, dude?
Oh,
in all seriousness.
How many hours
I don't
at
have
night do you
time
think-
for this.
How much time at night do you think you legit have during the week to watch a TV show? Like when you look at your week and everything that you do,
What did
do you
I
got,
do
like
last
4
night?
hours maybe?
Last night, we finished up doing work. Oh, we went to Costco, came home. What did we have? Oh, we went to Village Baker, had Sandoz for dinner. Mrs. Mom.
Y'all love that place.
It's great. And we watched 2 episodes of International House Hunters. Flipped on some hoop on my phone, watching the Laker game.
Yeah.
And then I'm laying in bed by 9:00 because I get up at 4. No, by the way, no night terrors out of Mrs. Monty last night.
Oh, okay.
Slept like a baby. It was amazing. But yeah, I watched an hour of TV on the TV, and in the background had the Laker game on my phone.
Yeah. Like it's not a lot of time.
It's not. It might be an hour a day. Like now that the weather's better here in the great state of Utah. I like for lunch yesterday, I broke out the Mevo flight scope. We got a launch monitor.
Yeah.
And I have a golf setup in my backyard.
Launch.
So I hit golf balls for lunch yesterday. Did not sit around and watch. Usually I like to watch the news. If I'm watching TV at lunch, if it's raining or whatever, I usually will watch the news. Or if the Cubs are on, I usually watch day baseball. Did you see the Cubs yesterday?
No.
Holy fuck. I think they got no hit for 7 2/3 and then won the game. Christopher Morel hit a bomb. Was amazing. But yeah, I just think I think there's too much stuff. I'm trying to watch. What do you DVR? What shows do you guys watch? I'm on the SVU train.
Uh-huh.
All the Law and Order. I watch Law and Order SVU, Organized Crime, which is moving to the Cock, which I also subscribe to. I have Chicago PD.
Yeah.
Shogun. And I think that's about it.
Yes.
And then I usually watch International House Hunters.
I do have a DVR set up on Chicago PD, but I don't get the chance to watch Chicago PD a lot because I'm also on the Shogun train. The problem with Shogun, though, is that you really got to be dialed into it. Like it's difficult to have the Laker game on and watch Shogun.
Yeah, because you guys are assholes.
I'm not the asshole that made
Yes,
the show
you are.
into
you are.
a bilingual show.
Yes, because millennials like subtitles. Oh, Gen Z or whatever the hell generation I am. I'm Gen X.
bro.
Fuck off. I don't like subtitles, and I'm tired of it.
XA710 20 twist Y banana.
Gen Alpha. They like their Blues Clues with subtitles.
If you guys ever want to kick it, we'll flow.
I hate subtitles.
So my point is that I'm not watching like 3 different shows a night. Like I typically will go in streaks. Like the last 6 weeks.
Naked?
No, sometimes the last 6 weeks was all Yellowstone. Just binged Yellowstone for like 6 weeks, and then I got into Shogun.
Like I'm probably not good. Like tonight. I'm probably not watching TV.
What do you got tonight?
Golf.
Oh yeah, probably not. No,
I'm playing 9 tonight with Mrs. Monty.
Hey, Monty.
So I'm probably not going to watch TV tonight. And if it is, it's going to be who? So I won't be watching shows.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of my point with this Amazon thing is that they haven't been real specific around how much of the NBA Amazon's going to get. It's been sort of sold as like this, hey, you're going to get some major games and matchups and like kind of that same feel as Thursday Night Football where they're just going to get some marquee games. But I don't
they're going to do AWS. They're going to do the stats. They're going to do, I mean, that's, which people love like, that on the NFL.
Yeah, people are about it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's a thing where like Amazon's competing with ESPN to take all the games. That's not what it is. It's more like,
no,
hey, ESPN is still going to be the mainstay, but the NBA and multiple NBA reporters reported the fact that the NBA would like to see 3 different partners when it comes to TV rights. So ESPN, Amazon,
NBC is going to make a major push for that TV deal.
Yeah,
you can just write that down.
Yeah.
NBC wants the NBA back. Frankie Gooch.
Hey, Frankie.
Hey, the Gucci. What's up, Gucci-nator?
The Italian.
Exactly. Celtics can front run with the best, but have never convinced me in the last few years they can win when the going gets tough. Ooh.
And I agree with that 100%.
Compared to the way Denver beat LA, the Celtics wouldn't win those games. There's something to be said for that. And that's why the Knicks have that tough guy component. Like Jalen Brunson will wear a defender right near the middle of the paint and finish with an and one. And he's got that little intangible.
Yeah.
Like Jamal Murray's got that toughness because as great as Jokic is, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
Somebody did in the YouTube comment section. So you're pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, Monty.
Shut up.
Monty, it's Roma Dunze, not Jim Rome, right?
Jim Roma Dunze. Put respect on his name. Great radio show. I know it's Nikola.
Program, please.
I know it's Nikola Jokic. We say Jokic because it's just fun.
It's a joke. It's like Jokic, so it's not Jokic, it's Jokic.
Yeah, his balls itch.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point
Thank you.
it's as good as Jokic is. I just think that Jamal Murray has that tough guy component.
Yeah.
And now hitting back-to-back game winners, I mean, it's undeniable, right?
Yeah.
So I look at Boston, and I don't see that. Porzingis was always an odd fit, in my opinion. And I like him at the time. You can go back. It's live on our channel all the time. I like the fit, but the guy has never been that dude. Since he tore his Achilles, he's never been that dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Did knee or Achilles with him? I think it might have been a knee with the Knicks. But he's never been that guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever returned to New York Nick Porzingis form.
No.
He's never been the same.
No, and he's another guy with brothers that fight everybody.
Yeah.
And, But yeah, I think you're right. I don't think if you look at the East, guys are going to try and grind you. And I think it's very interesting.
Well, that's what Orlando's doing. Orlando's being physical. They're grinding out the Cavs. Like, they're making it difficult.
Because the Cavs are soft. But it's why Donovan Mitchell is the perfect complement to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
It's why they've got to make that deal. Got to make that deal, man. That's got to happen. If the Knicks had Donovan Mitchell, I think they would be the unquestioned favorite to come out of the East.
Yeah.
I think they would be significantly better than Boston, but they don't. And so that's going to be, I think we're heading for that. How are we not? And if anybody wants to explain that to me, how are we not heading for those two teams?
Yeah.
If you look at what's next, I mean, let's surmise Celtics beat the Heat. And then I think you have Cavs beating the Magic. And so it's going to be Cavs and Celtics. Without Porzingis, I think that's a long series.
Yeah.
If Kristaps can't come back and calf injuries are not quick. So I think that's interesting. I think you're going to get the Pacers and the Knicks in round 2. I think the Knicks are a better team. I mean, we are heading for Celtics and Knicks.
Yeah.
Which I think is exactly
Iconic.
what we all want.
Yes.
Right? That's exactly what we all want. And if you look at the West, I think the Timberwolves and Nuggets is...
It's a hell of a series, dude. I'm telling you.
I just think you're gonna struggle if you are the matchup for the Timberwolves in that series is gonna be tough, in my opinion. The Zion Williamson is frustrating because I think the Pelicans win a game in that series if he plays, and maybe more than a game, but is what it is. I think we're gonna get Clippers and Thunders and Clipper and Thunder in round 2. I think the Thunder win that series. I think we are heading for Nuggets and Thunder in the Western Conference Finals, and I think there's a real chance the Thunder can win that series.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Knicks and Thunder?
I mean, obviously, you know, from a league standpoint, you'd love Knicks and an LA team.
I would love Knicks and Timberwolves in the finals.
Yeah.
That would be...
I'm telling you. I don't disagree. The matchup on paper for the Wolves is not great against the Nuggets, but I am not going to sit here and discount the fact that they are young, they are energetic, they have not played nearly as much basketball as the Nuggets have played in the last couple of seasons, and I'm telling you, that endless energy that the T-Wolves seem to have, and whether it is Edwards or McDaniels or you know, Naz Reid off the bench or Cat, like, you know, you've got just, there's always somebody who is outworking the opposition on a play-in, play-out basis, and I think that's why the Wolves won that series against the Suns. They outworked the Suns repeatedly, and it broke the Suns. So to me, yeah, Jokic is going to have a big series against the T-Wolves, but I'm not sitting here counting them out at all. I think that get up and down attitude they have is exactly what you need to have to beat Denver in Denver. Yeah,
we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I think I have a lot of respect for Denver and the way they play and how hard they play. They never give up. I think Denver grinds people. So everybody's in on the TV conversation. We'll get to college football here in about 5 minutes. Stepanek says Yellowstone series is awesome.
It is.
He hates subtitles and he watches a lot of Western. I agree.
Well, I don't think you need subtitles on Yellowstone. We don't watch Yellowstone with subtitles, but I do think on Shogun you have to have subtitles. You just, I don't enjoy watching like English dubbed shows. That to me just doesn't work. I'd rather read it and like.
But Shogun is really good.
Yeah, it is.
And I hate that I gotta read subtitles. I hate that.
Yeah, well,
because it's doing well. And what does that mean? We're going to get more of that bullshit. And I don't want it. I don't want it.
What are we at in society today?
I don't want it. I do not want it. Anyway. James, Shortcake Diner in Stillwater is really good. Pancakes, waffles, or French toast, it's all good. Don't hedge.
Monty?
I hate when people, okay, pancakes or French toast. Waffles. Fuck off. No, it's not okay.
Well, get your facts straight.
Nobody eats waffles intentionally unless it's Legos.
Yeah.
Your Eggo.
Eggo, my Lego, my Eggo?
When's the last time I had waffles? God, dog.
Been a minute, dude.
I can't think of the last time I had a waffle. I do
love the Kodiak thick cut waffles. Those are good, dude.
I don't know that I've ever had them. I don't know. I could be wrong. Aaron Wilson, Fallout TV show is amazing. If you played the game, it explains a lot. I would agree with that. OG Gary, are you in a toxic relationship with Alexa?
Yeah.
Yes. All she does is take my money.
Yeah.
And what do I get out of it?
Don't play intramurals, brother.
Well, peanut butter and oats and a bunch of creatine, a bunch of stuff. You know, do you know that the Bucked Up Creatine special is amazing at Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
It's where I get it. Mike Smith. Hey, Mike Smith.
Hey, Smitty.
Smitty.
Oh,
Just finished second season of Resident Alien. That show cracks me up. Okay.
that seems.
Twisted Metal on Peacock is badass. Ron Nolan. Love pancakes, love French toast, love all waffles. My mother's waffles were the best. Am I missing out on waffles?
I mean, a nice fluffy waffle is pretty good, but
Shogun season ends horribly. Does it ever end well? If you're a Shogun, don't you wind up taking a samurai sword in your gut? The cock. It doesn't. Breaking news, it doesn't end well for the Shogun. Dakota, I imagine Monty just screaming at Alexa every day.
do you guys ever just say heinous things? Alexa, dude.
I would never grow up.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I would never do that. I would never ask her what her cup size is. I would never.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
I would never do that. Dakota, I do not. I do not do that. I do not. Jeremiah Champion, appreciate you guys asking. Means a lot. And yes, I have a hard time watching TV without subs.
Okay, so why is that though? Like, is it because one of the things that
What is wrong with you?
one of my pet peeves is
Without, did I read that right? I have a hard time watching TV without subtitles.
Yeah, so one of my pet peeves when I'm watching TV with the honey is we're watching Shogun and the phone doesn't go away, and that's why I think Gen
Never.
Z and some millennials need to have subtitles, because what they want to do is they want to sit here like this. They want to be like, okay, I got TikTok right here on my phone, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then so this is the foreground. In the background, they've got the show on, and they want to be on TikTok, but they also want to read the subtitles at the same time. And I'm like, dude, like,
Put your fucking phone down.
Just set it down for like an hour. It's not that difficult, bro. Like, the phone will be there. It's okay. Like, I don't mind locking in on a show for one episode when I get the chance. It's almost a relief. It's almost nice to not look at my phone for like an hour and be like, all right, cool, I'm locking in.
Yeah. Boston Mapes. SVU jumped the shark like 4 seasons ago. Totally disagree. I think the writing on SVU the last 2 seasons has been phenomenal. With Benson as the focus, the storylines have been amazing. This past season, this current season has been really good. Really, really good. With organized crime going to the cock, I think it's going to be interesting. That show's ratings are low, but it's really good right now. And I think the original SVU, I love it. I absolutely love it. James, what's the weird commercial where the guy has an Apple phone and calls Siri Alexa, then Siri cusses him out? Never seen it.
Yeah.
Mike Smith, I like the original Shogun series better. Shogun is one of my favorite books. Nice. Confirm Monty hates reading. I love it. My wife read me a book. A really good book.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
When we were driving down to Vegas over the weekend, she read a really good book to us in the car. I actually like books.
Yeah.
It's fine. It is what it is. RJC, legend has it she found a web result about that. No. Subtitles are too distracting. Turn the volume up like a normal person, you Gen Z jagoffs. Thank you. Thank you, Maves. I appreciate that.
You Gen Z jagoffs.
Well, let's just listen.
Am I?
Subtitles. Got my, whatever. Got the prawn on the phone. I can't do subtitles because I've got the OnlyFans on the phone. The cock. I've got the prawn on the iPad, and then I've got
macaque.
Some dude with a samurai sword through his gully.
His cock.
I can't do it. Ron Nolan says Nova, Dateline, Jimmy Kimmel, Colbert, Saturday Night Live, Parks and Rec, College Lacrosse, and the Flintstones.
I thought you said college lacrosse.
And the Flintstones.
Damn.
What about the WNBA? Jeremiah Champion.
Okay.
I'm from the generation that grew up watching anime before it was popular here. That means watching with subtitles because you couldn't understand Japanese. Eventually, it just became the norm. Nah, bro.
Yeah, I never got on the anime train, dude. That was not my thing.
K Nurin, I'm waiting for Reacher on Prime. See, the thing is, didn't the Tom Cruise Reacher movies are good. The series, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I can't do it. I can't do it. James, I was talking to a coworker, and I want to start going to more AAA ball games.
Okay,
guys. Now, listen. At this park over here in Stillwater,
at Cut Steer Stadium,
where the AAA
Steers
Stillwater Poop Faces take on the Las Vegas Aces. I got to tell you, they had a Cantonese corn dog laced with fentanyl and Captain Crunch. That's the greatest concession thing I've ever gotten.
Show up.
If you start reviewing AAA baseball stadiums, I'm out.
Monty, the hose that they use to water the field really needs some work. You know,
Look, they're not hose; they're professional women. So I would appreciate if you would use the proper nomenclature.
That's
Pros.
right.
Why? I mean, pros versus hose. Oh, you mean the actual garden hose? My bad. My bad.
Easy to get confused there. Yeah, easy to get confused.
My bad. Could happen to anybody. Hey, playa, Wolves beat Nuggets in 6. I'm sure. I got Big Daddy Magic sending me videos now wanting to bet because he wants me to buy him a red Buffalo Bills t-shirt. You know.
Monty.
Are you on what's the video service where he'll send you messages?
Oh my God. God. What is that
where you
called?
pay
Yes. No, it's not Discord. It's
I can't remember. Oh my God.
What is that called?
Oh, I can't remember.
Bro.
Where anyway, you can send a request to a celebrity and they will send you a video. Big Daddy Magic did that for me over the weekend with because Big Daddy Magic is
Cameo.
Cameo. Thank you.
God. Cameo.
And he made me a cameo for my niece's bachelorette party over the weekend. People loved it. You know, it's fine. Yes, cameo. Thank you. Stepanik, my local news station is courting the Kansas City Chiefs to make the move to the Kansas side. That's done. Because he ain't getting a stadium on the Missouri side.
Nah, man. Nah.
You know, Jeremiah Champion, I can feel your judgment from here, Monty. Exactly.
Monty. And hey, by the way, it's Monty with a Y, please.
Yeah, can we get it right, Monty? Eddie Lozano, San Antonio Real Estate.
Who the fuck are you?
BYU did a really good job, Frisco, Texas, with Fan Fest. They are setting the example on how you recruit new fans. The Texas teams need to do the same thing or they will lose out to BYU.
Hold up. I thought you just said that BYU knows how to recruit better than the Texas teams. Well, Monty, SMU has created a pipeline in Texas, and if they don't follow BYU's recruiting tactics, they're going to lose out.
Yeah.
And it's real. It's a real shame.
Yeah. John Miller, leading executive at NBC Sports, who have $2.7 billion rights deals to show the Premier League in the U.S., tells The Athletic he will push for top flight matches in America, suggesting a couple of matches from the Premier League opening weekend be played in North America.
Interesting.
Why would they do that?
Yeah,
Why would the Premier League take the best football league in the world, which is played in England, and move it to the North Americas?
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense, dude. I mean, I guess this is like the stadium series with the NHL. I guess you want to put it in Yankee Stadium and have it be,
this
whatever.
is akin to the NFL in Germany.
Yeah,
or
if it's
at Wembley.
I think the hard part is again, it's the teams who are playing well in the EPL right now versus the biggest brands globally. That's the challenge you have as a TV partner. So as an example, Arsenal's been hot, but they're not the biggest brand in the Premier League, right? They're just not.
San Diego State Glenn, good morning. Yeah, Monty, it's like NIL and prop betting that it's doing really well. So we're seeing more of that. I don't want subtitles. I don't. Mike Smith, where can I get one of those Cantonese corn dogs? Asking for a friend. Come on, off the top of my head, I came up with that. Jeremiah Champion says there is an anime for everyone out there for everyone. Surprisingly, a large number of genres.
Wow.
What you do with your knuckles is up to you, my guy. Tanner Plummer, when is Oak State James going to review RSL's America First Field? Never, even if it's on fire.
Never.
I don't need to worry because it's the best stadium in Utah. Oh, God.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Here we go.
It's the best stadium in Utah. Man, that Coke you're doing is real strong, bud.
Stop.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I just sent a video on X with subtitles. Oh, thank God we're saved.
But see, a fair point though. When you're looking at social media, having subtitles on the video is clutch, because if you don't want to listen to the sound and you want to hear what they're saying or you want to read what they're saying, that's nice to have.
I won't ruin Benson for you, Monty. But Alan Richin is a great reacher. Okay. I don't have time. I don't have time. And admittedly, I used to be the rotund, chubby guy that sat on the couch and watched Reacher.
The rotund, chubby guy.
Chub Master Crisco. Like I used to be homie. I'm not.
still human.
No, I'm not. Not at that point. I was just a blob of fat. And now that I it's one of the things I really enjoy is not sitting on the couch.
Yeah.
It's not my thing anymore.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Champion. Damn, I'm just not on it today. Well, okay, I can't read.
But you want it on other days, though. You know what I'm saying, man?
Paulo, hook 'em, boy. Can someone tell Rich Eisen to shut up about the Big Blue? Well,
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
I don't watch his show, so.
Yeah, why are we discussing Rich Eisen? And also, quick question for you there, Slick. How are you a Texas fan and a Michigan fan?
He's not. Can someone tell Rich Eisen to shut up about the Big Blue? What are you confused? What? See, everything was going fine. And then you had to be
Is that a Cowboys reference then?
No, it's a fucking Michigan reference. What are you talking about?
Then what are you talking? How am I confused? That's what I just said. How is he a Texas fan and a Michigan fan?
How is this indicating that Paulo's a Michigan fan?
Because he wants Rich Eisen to stop saying what he's saying about Michigan, which means he's a Michigan fan.
No, he wants him to stop talking about Michigan because it's all that guy talks about.
I guess. Paulo, are you a secondary Michigan fan?
Nobody has ever claimed that you're intelligent.
Okay.
Right?
Nobody.
Nobody.
You could just call me stupid. It's fine. Okay.
Why don't you fuck off?
What's wrong with you?
That to me indicates he's a Michigan fan.
Exactly.
I mean, Gary's a fan of everybody, so that's that same behavior.
Paulo, how did you see the Eagles and the Packers are playing overseas and they can't wear green? Okay. No, I did not see that. UW fan Jim Monty, I actually watch Huskies football. Okay. Jim Romadunze. Great sports talk show.
Money.
Brian Shoots, random thought. My boss just married a stripper who used to be a teacher. Is he winning? Wow. All I need to know is how much was his divorce? Because you don't marry a stripper willingly. My guess is you were married, went to the club, fell in love, and your life is straight downhill from there.
Yeah.
You married a stripper who used to be a teacher. But don't you become a stripper so you can become a teacher and not become a stripper so you don't have to be a teacher anymore? Okay. Big Blue Horses, soccer. Can't get into the Grass Fairy Floppers. Rugby union is the superior product. Okay. I never understood this. If you don't like soccer, don't watch. Yeah. But why do so many people feel that sports soccer? Okay, don't watch. Don't watch, man. You know. The Nye guy, there's a soccer team in Utah, not that I'm aware of. I don't believe that's the case. I could be wrong, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I think my wife is singing. The best stadium in Utah is Rice-Eccles Stadium. Okay. James, I just sent a video by X with subtitles. Okay, thank you for $2. to say the same thing over. Did anyone read subtitles before Star Wars? No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
Okay.
And now
Dude, bro, James, I can't play this on the show, dog. Like, look at this video, bro. What is that? Is this showing us your
are
tongue
you having
talent,
a
bro?
stroke? Like, what is wrong with you?
What is that, James?
Okay. Dakota Tubbs, not trying to make you feel bad about yourself, Monty. What do you mean? Monty, you have gravitational pull. Well, at least but yet I am not a supporter of Vladimir Putin, such as, never mind. I can always go back to that, Dakota. Dakota, who infamously said on the show, well,
Monty,
there were good people on both sides of that, and I want Tucker to go to Russia because we need to hear what Vladimir Putin has to say. No, we don't. Yes,
like, for instance.
No, we don't. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay. Let me know what he had to say because I ain't fucking. Be better, Nye guy.
what did Nye guy say?
He said there's a soccer team in Utah. I don't believe there is. Jeremiah Champion, best showgram ever. Always. Stepanik, did anyone read subtitles for Star Wars? No.
Yeah, should we roll out subtitles on the showgram here, or what do you think?
No. Rich Eisen is a Michigan fan. Yes, I'm aware. He's not a Michigan fan. He wants them to shut the hell up about Michigan because Rich is a Michigan fan. WTF, Jakey Two Holes.
Here we go.
You're casual.
I just don't.
Okay, I misinterpreted his comment. Jesus. Like what? It's
it
not
was
like
out of context. What do you want from me?
It's not like I said
He said
Harbaugh coached Ohio State.
He said what he allegedly said.
I don't understand the like. Why is this such a big deal?
There's just never mind. No, I'm not. No, this isn't the. No, I'm a fan of Jake. Yidge Two Holes guy since birth.
Well,
aren't we all? Varsity Blues, hot for teacher scene. Exactly. Salty Drunk keeps messaging me that he's still blocked, Tanner says. I told him that YouTube probably blocked him. Salty coming back spells bad news, in my opinion.
okay, but here's the deal, bro. We know you've created multiple burners. We know the fact that you've commented with your original account before. You're not blocked. You're just no longer in the members only group. It's a very simple concept. Like, I don't understand why this is so confusing.
Salty Drunk, who became very angry on this show and insulted everybody, got seed your way outed. Yeah. And now the guy is quite
literally, we're not allowed or capable. We don't have a function that allows us as the host or the creator to block people. YouTube does not let us do
Tanner
that.
Plummer from Salty Drunk. My IP address is blocked. Can't even use fake accounts because YouTube doesn't allow you to create fake accounts because you keep saying things that get you blocked.
So, and then you want to say we blocked you, dude. We didn't do anything.
Oh my God. Yeah. James, I was making fun of the old Kung Fu movies. Okay.
Solid, dude.
Big Daddy Magic. Hey, playa, I'm going to be spending the day with Dwayne Wade on Thursday, and I'm also okay. Jeremiah Champion. Haha, Putin. Seriously. I do like poutine, yes.
Poutine.
Mm-hmm. Loner Phone. J2H so sensitive. Southern Exposure downtown has a soccer team of ex-teachers. Whatever. Whatever's clever, bro. Salty can stay blocked. He never learns.
Again, we didn't block anybody.
Nope.
That is all YouTube, bro.
Nope. When you guys doing another in-person event, I want to meet you guys at some point. I don't know. You guys are pimps. You blast James nonstop and he sends you money for the privilege.
Dude, it's not personal. James plays a role, bro.
Oak State James is one of our favorite guys. Jake actually said is in love with him. He professed it on the show.
Come on, man. What is he talking about?
Tell me I'm wrong. Salty, I block or Dakota Tubbs, I blocked Salty. He isn't part of Bricks. I had to do it. What is
Dude,
BRICS?
why,
What is
bro?
BRICS?
That's that international coalition that's the Saudis are involved in.
Oh,
that we had
for Putin.
Yeah, that we had a meltdown over in the members only chat. Okay, that actually is funny, dude. I appreciate that effort right there, but also let's not go too far down that path.
Brandon Butler. I'm wondering if they will start serving Putin at Delta now that they've have hockey. So of course, James says Poutine is amazing.
Well,
Monty, let me tell you something. I was in Starkville one summer ago. I spent the longest summer of my life 1 week in Starkville, and I was sweating. It was running down my butt crack, and it made me think, well, that smells like poutine. Let me head over to the hat. And I rolled into the hat, and I got me some poutine fries that tasted just like Vladdy, the Big Daddy Navalny killer. And yeah, it was amazing. Just thought I'd share.
Here I am.
Didn't have a corn dog, which disappointed me.
Thanks, Monty. Yeah.
Come on. How about a poutine Fruit Loops corn dog? Yes. What kind of milk do you want in your Fruit Loops? Do you guys have poutine?
Yeah, no duh.
Oh my God. Loner phone. My mom just texted me. Has a computer question. Shoot me now.
Well, hey, loaner phone. Does Apple do loaner computers?
Send her to Apple, bro. They'll give her a loaner. Mike Smith. I dip my Cantonese corn dog in poutine. I go international.
Wow.
I don't get down like that.
James, fries with cheese and gravy, best snack in the winter.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. I actually really do love a good cheese fry. I do. It's hard to beat.
Are you going to get a physical this year?
Like tachos?
What do you want to bet? Want to bet I have better cholesterol than you?
Well, you have better cholesterol than like every human on the planet, dude.
Right, I know. So that's why
So
I'm going to make a bet about.
I'm not making that bet.
I'm giving you a fucking answer.
I am, right? Are you going to get a physical this year?
I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't.
And I'm just curious: is your corn dog? Is that a euphemism for something else? Well, he is an OU fan and an Oak State fan. Don't piss off James. James, are you the night guy? Poutine is too close to poontang. I keep cracking. Okay.
Wow, dude.
Jeremiah Champion. For a historical reference, it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and I do believe Saudi Arabia, which is why it's funny. It's like Salty got kicked out of his own party. Exactly right. Exactly right. Mike Smith be stomping that passport. Exactly. I can use a Putin shake. Okay. James.
Oh boy.
Took the bait. Gary, I'm not an OU fan. I do respect Bud Wilkinson. Wasn't he the coach on Friday Night Lights? 47 wins in a row. No one will ever beat that streak.
Whoa.
And let me tell you, the tachos at Bud Wilkinson Stadium.
I'm a man.
Okay. This show is the greatest cultural product to come from Utah. I believe that's true.
The fact that we've got people commenting that poutine is getting confused with other body parts is wild.
So now poontang is a body part.
Yeah.
Will you stop weaponizing the female genitalia, please? God damn.
Yeah, next question.
Okay, we have to be serious for a moment because we don't want to be clickbaiters.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at on this college football NCAA sport NIL settlement situation? Because as we've been talking about on the show for probably the better part of 6 months now, this House versus NCAA lawsuit that is happening basically is a class action of former college athletes to get retroactively paid NIL money that they were denied. And I think it is undeniable that they were denied NIL opportunities. Well, now, as we have been telling you, the only resolution to that case and the others is to settle, and it is going to be billions. Well, Ross Dellinger, amongst others, is now reporting that a settlement is nearing, and that the NCAA is wanting to settle. And our sources tell us here on the Monty Show that most administrators are on board and most recognize this is a $1 billion price tag to settle this lawsuit. But part and parcel of this settlement is the fact that NIL now will become a revenue sharing proposition, which, notice that language is not accidental, nor did I say athletes will become employees, because as we've told you on this show, that's never going to happen. But what is going to happen is NIL revenue sharing will now be a thing, and revenue sharing from the college to its athlete will now become a thing. And I think this is the only eventuality that was ever going to play out, because the athletes are the ones making the money. The NCAA is not. And Jake, I think this is justifiable, and I think it is actually the right thing for the college athlete.
Absolutely. And I think when you look at it from the different sides of the conversation, it makes sense for everybody. So, like, if you look at it from the side of the NCAA, it makes sense for them, right? Obviously, the NCAA isn't trying to be in more litigation. They're not trying to cause more issues for people. They're simply tasked with enforcing the rules of college athletics. And, you know, this conversation is helping to smooth those rules out, to change those rules and regulations around the way money flows to the athlete. And I think, you know, NIL, and we see this all the time in business, right? Where like opportunities like NIL come up and everybody just jumps on it, right? Like, oh man, hey, we can brand ourselves through an athlete. Jump on it. Oh, we're a private jet company. Let's endorse every single quarterback known to man, right? We saw that wave happen in NIL.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that there was no structure around how we were doing any of that. It was like, hey, here's your check. You're now an ambassador or whatever. Like, that's it. And the hard part is, because it's an unequal playing field and not a level playing field in college athletics, specifically football, you have the bigger brands taking advantage of this. And so now we're starting to get settlement talk, because it can only go so far. And so the idea that, hey, you know, maybe each school, as part of this settlement, maybe each school gets $10 million, $20 million of a fund to pay their athletes. Maybe that's how we go about this.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think what you are going to see is every university is going to have to kick down, because they're all members of the NCAA, right? You're going to have to kick down to athletes, and it's going to be billions. Once that is settled, I think you move forward, and I think you are going to have to create a fund to pay players part of the profits that those universities are recognizing. And I think that NIL is going to be completely different from that. I think NIL will be a different model, or I should say a different revenue stream for players than that profit sharing. But I do think it's all going to fall under the same umbrella, because I don't think there's any doubt that it is inevitable that universities will administrate NIL funding. The universities will, I think, have to have NIL deals for their revenue streams, where they will broker, you know, Jimmy's Ford store will give every one of the players a truck, and, you know, or if you're a Toyota university or whatever you are, hey, that manufacturer will pay you $50 million and every player gets a truck on the football team. So the university makes money and the players make money. It's not unlike BYU's Built Bar deal, where BYU got, you know, a deal with Built Bar, and Built Bar paid everybody scholarship that were not on scholarship. And they got promo codes, and hey, if you use BYU Jimmy, when you purchase your Built Bar at checkout, you'll get nothing, right? Like, that's what we're doing. And I think that deal, as revolutionary as it was, as groundbreaking as the Built Bar deal at BYU was, I think it's standard practice now. I think it's 100% standard practice. I think every player is going to be driving a car. I think you're going to see luxury condos. I think you're going to see at some point, my belief is that you're going to even see, hey, he's a Nike athlete now. You're going to see Shedeur Sanders is a Nike athlete now. You're like, that's the way that this is moving. And it should have been allowed to happen decades ago.
Right.
Video game money should have gone to the athletes in the video game. How did it not? This was always an eventuality. Always. And I think now my biggest question is, what does this mean to the Super League? Because if you're going to give up billions and these schools are going to pay out billions in this settlement, do you think they're just going to let that money go? I would say not.
Of course not.
They're going to remake that money somehow. And Greg Sankey can sit here and talk about how he and the Big Ten are already moving into a revenue sharing model. Well, everybody's moving into a revenue sharing model.
Yeah.
Right? So that's all well and good. Everybody's moving to a revenue sharing model. You don't have a choice. My question is, what does this do to bring private money into big time college football? Which I also think is inevitable. And the Super League, as I've told you, I don't think it's a matter of if, but when.
Yeah.
It is inevitable. I've heard it from too many people. I'm telling you now, the Super League, and it may not be in the next 5 years. I think it could be as soon as 3 years from now. But it's happening. It's an eventuality. As were these NIL lawsuits, as were these settlements, as was revenue sharing, as was they're never going to be employees. There's no way they're going to be employees, but they're going to get paid. There's no question about that. You can see I think we try to complicate this stuff. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
Where money is, that's where the game will go, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I absolutely think that's the case. And I think that it's crazy that, all this scheming and stuff has had to happen like behind closed doors and in the darkness of the night. They're handing out envelopes full of money to these kids illegally. Like, it's crazy that we've had to go through all of that. And it's things like Reggie getting the Heisman back and being back in good faith that I'm like, hey, there's a bit of a changing of the guard happening, like philosophically. Like, people are starting to see, hey, yeah, maybe, you know what? Yeah, maybe we should correct that. Maybe
should they be employees?
I just don't think it's possible structure wise. It's too big. Like, I think what you have to do is what we're talking about, and that's figure out the compensation on the big picture, on the big scale, and that concept of big picture, big scale applies to the college football playoff structure and the Super League thing and NIL, and like, it has to work for everybody, for the entire system to thrive. And that's why when you look at, what Greg Sankey was saying, it stands out so much to me that on one hand, he's saying, hey, like, I'm not talking about the Super League because we're thriving, right? And on the other hand, he's not wanting to talk about, change in college football structure because he's saying, hey, well, people are investing in the sport. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And so my point is, okay, cool. Now that we're working towards a settlement and this part of it's getting figured out, the next thing in line is going to be figuring out creating a structure. It's not changing it to benefit everybody. It's creating a structure that allows the money to flow properly through the sport.
But here's the issue. It's the unintended consequences.
Yeah, who the hell knows what those are, right?
It's going to be,
but they're coming.
Anytime the man gives you money, what's he going to do? What's he going to do after he gives you money? He's going to take his thumb and he's going to put it right on your fucking head.
Yeah.
So you're not going to transfer. You're not going to opt out of bowl games. You're not going to, like you have to understand, when you take a bag, you're not getting that bag for free. And you're not paying them back by doing social media or driving their truck or eating their food.
Yeah.
You take that money in exchange for your freedom. You take that money in exchange for free will. They're paying you to do what you're told when you're told to do it.
Right.
And I think, and I could be wrong about this, I believe that you are going to structure this in a way that every athlete can, any athlete can do NIL now. But I think we all know there's going to be a very small sliver of athlete that gets it.
Yeah.
And why are the universities wanting to run NIL? Because then it protects them from things like inequality, lawsuits on that level, right? Like, but they're doing it to constrict and restrict the freedoms and the choices of the athletes that are in their control. Because money is power. Money is control at this level. So I understand that everybody wants this. I understand. Hey, we don't want to be employees. We want to be 1099s. Totally get that.
Yeah.
We want to get paid. Totally get that. We want revenue sharing. Totally get that. What are you giving in exchange for that? And if you think the answer is nothing, you're completely wrong.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Because you're going to give up something, whether you want it to be or not.
Yeah. It's never nothing.
You're going to give up something.
Yeah.
You're going to play more games. Your season's going to get longer. Oh, you don't want it to be? Okay, give them the money back. Oh, wait, you won't do that. Oh, you don't want to wait until Super Bowl Saturday to play your championship game? Okay, give the money back. Oh, wait, you won't do that. Oh, you want to opt out of the bowl game and go get ready for the combine? Yeah, sorry, can't do that. We paid you to play that game. That's going to happen. And you can try and write that stuff into riders, which are, addendums to contracts, and you can try and do that. Do you want the money or not?
Yeah.
And that's where this lack of oversight, these kids that run up and don't have agents, or don't have agents with scruples, or don't have moms and dads that can, help them navigate those waters. Because one of the sports that this is becoming a major thing in is golf. Golf is in, again, if you just had a baby bounce off of your wife's thighs, put a golf club in his hands.
Yeah.
Put a golf club in her hands.
Yeah.
Because you want your kid to get paid without brain damage, go play golf.
Yeah.
Go play golf.
Well, and I think, what's so interesting about golf is, like, I don't think people understand that compared to other sports, getting to the tour for a college golfer really is not that difficult. Like, all you need to do is qualify for some events through playing well in the qualifying event, and then you're basically on your way. It's not this thing. It's not like football where, hey, you got to go out and beat someone who's just so much better than you. And like these college golfers don't have to play Tiger Woods to get to the next level. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to play Scotty Scheffler the way that, Tulsa's got to play Alabama. That's not how it works. So for golfers, I totally agree. And I still feel like it flies way under the radar. Nobody thinks about golf as a sport that's pretty much all about the money at every single level. Like, that's the only reason LIV is in existence, because dudes wanted to be paid more money to play less golf. So yeah, I would say golf is going to push towards the forefront pretty quick.
I think NIL money in golf is going to explode. I think, the other one that I think a lot of people don't think about, NIL money in baseball and stick and ball sports has to happen. And why is that? Because now I think you're going to see less money going to those lower tier sports.
Yeah.
So how are you going to fund those lower tier sports? NIL deals. And it's not going to be good enough that you're a Nike school, an Adidas school, an Under Armour school. You're going to have to drive new revenue through those lower tier sports, volleyball, football, lacrosse, right? Like, lacrosse is another one where funding is prevalent. So I'm telling you, the unintended consequences of this stuff, it'll be very interesting to see how all that plays out.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Daniel Dixon, hello. Government taxing players be part of it. Finding players for targeting too, dude. It'll be interesting to see how many people get into tax trouble with this.
Yep.
I think it's very interesting. Let's see. Paulo says Texas has private firms that control NIL. This helps keep the flow of money documented and under control. And the university that's all going to change the way that happens.
But that's
I
what I'm
guarantee
saying.
it.
That's why this adjustment to NIL has to happen. And then secondarily to that, whether it winds up being the Super League or like whatever change in playoff structure we get, or really change to the system we get, That has to happen in addition to this for the money to properly flow with ease.
And I also think what happened at UAB yesterday, I don't know if anybody saw this, but Trent Dilfer, the former NFL quarterback and Super Bowl champion, is the head coach at Alabama Birmingham. They all joined this new players association. And I think you're going to start seeing that now because players are going to need a way to protect themselves. Because I do think, dude, rich old white guys did not become rich old white guys by being stupid.
Yeah.
And from the beginning of time, the powerful control other people. The powerful control the less powerful. And if you are a college athlete, you need help. You need protection. And I think this Players Association thing, I think this is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I think players need protection because the powerful always control the less powerful. That's just the way the world works, man. Brandon Butler, they will be considered independent contractors. Yeah, 1099s. I think that's where it's going to head eventually. Otherwise, you would need a CBA. Yet they're never going to be employees. Forget it. Forget it. They're never going to be employees. If they become employees, they become separate from schools like a club. They'll never become employees. There's just too much legality and frankly, liability in it. They'll never become. Daniel Dixon, paying players have to end players out of bowl games then. You mean opt-outs? I think you're going to have specific stipulations that go with that money. Yes, Mike Smith, return on investment. No doubt about it. Loner Phone says Title 9, is that what you mean? Becomes an issue. Watch what happens to women's sports. It won't become an issue because you have to give equal access and opportunity. And there's no question that's going to happen. No question that's going to happen. Kaner in the NFL and Super League, here we come. I think so. Title 9 is about federal money. It won't be affected by NIL. It's equal access and opportunity. That's what Title 9 is at its core, is equal access and opportunity. You cannot say you're a woman, you're not going to get what the guys get. Why would you do that? Especially with the explosion of women's sports in this country.
Totally agree.
And again, I keep going back to what is commonly known as stick and ball sports. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. The opportunity that women's sports provide for the development, maturing, the growth, the mental health and well-being of young women in this country, it's critical. It is critical. And whether you play field hockey, whether you are a cheerleader, which people don't understand, cheerleading is a sport at college.
Yeah.
Whether you're a cheerleader, track and field, whether you are a star pitcher or just a scrub at the end of the bench, what that sport provides you and the confidence you glean from it is critically important. And it's why, and I know this is a different can of worms, it's why coaching in women's sports has to be administered very, very well. And when you see women's sports struggling, overwhelmingly, it's a lack of quality in the coaching department.
Yeah.
And you have to fix it. Have to. Big Daddy Magic. Hey, playa, it's been 45 days since BYU was humiliated in March Madness. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with the price of J-Dogs in Provo? What are you talking about? What your hate of BYU is bizarre to me. Anyway, Loner Foam, buckle up, Buttercup. The game has changed and will never go back to what it was. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah,
it's over. UW fan Jim, that is the best thing I've heard. Take the money, play all of your games.
I mean, it's just how it has to be.
It is.
Like, there's no other way. Like, again, it's what you said, right? If you're gonna take the bag, you're damn well gonna play the game.
Look at college basketball. Sure. I'm happy to give you a Lamborghini. I'm happy to clothing, sunglasses, private jets. Which somebody said to me yesterday, hey, have you thought about airline deals for teams so they can fly charter? I have. I think that's absolutely going to become a thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you look at this take the money thing, and everybody, you guys all made fun of me the other weeks when I was saying college basketball's back, one and dones are done. You're going to have to stay in college 2 years. You are going to have to play 2 years of college basketball if you want this money. And if you don't want the money, sorry, dude. Like, I'm not going to, like, I think things like that are going to happen.
Yeah.
I think you are going to, at some point, jersey patches in football. I think you are going to have to.
Well, it's what you said, like the superimposing on the field stuff during football games, right?
Yes.
Where like on the TV broadcasts, they're able to, they do it in the NBA all the time now. They do it in Major League Baseball on the back of the mound now, like in hockey on the boards.
They do it in college basketball.
Yeah. So that technology is already all over sports in general. And I think that, again, it's just about maximizing revenue. Like whether you like it or not, the powers that be are going to make their money. And it's just a matter of them figuring out how to do it and keep everybody else happy. And that's all this is.
Interesting note from Adrian Wojnarowski. Timberwolves coach Chris Finch will undergo surgery to repair a right patella tendon on Wednesday, and it remains unclear whether Rudy Gobert has ever tried to be better. That's not what it says. It remains unclear whether he'll be able to open conference semifinal series versus Nuggets on the bench.
The Nuggies.
Mike Conley be damned, right? That'll be interesting. Keep an eye on that. I think this NIL thing is just the beginning.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. Imagine if Jenny Finch was able to get an NIL deal when she played. And Enrique's, the golf route makes great sense. Put a club in your kid's hand the second he or she is born. The Big Lubbock. Hit the like button. Yes, where are we at? We are at about 1,000 views, and we're only at 50 likes.
Bro, come on, man. Come on.
This is why we can't have nice
it's
things.
like we got to 100,000 subs, and y'all just took the day off. Like
this is why we can't have nice things.
Like the train doesn't stop, man. Keep hitting the like button.
San Diego State Glenn, the envelopes were under the pillow in the hotel rooms during Bull Week. Heard that from a student athlete, family friend who played in the SEC in the 90s. Yeah, well, that's truth. You're talking about student unions, solidarity, Teamsters, athletes unite. You're going to have it. You're going to have it. Shoot, even girls NCAA wrestling is blowing up because they deserve the opportunity to compete.
Yeah.
The Nye guy, what are they playing? What are they paying Real Salt Lake? I thought Real Salt Lake folded. No, I'm kidding. I'm being a jerk. 3-day-old churros and Ted Lasso episodes. Truth. Boyd Lake, the SEO king of America. At least Kentucky is full-time BYU basketball coach now. Okay. Already doing great things for basketball at BYU. Yes.
Oh, KY. Yeah.
KY. Okay. I see what you mean. I thought you meant Kentucky. KY. I think BYU basketball has a very bright future.
Yeah.
I got to get used to the KY thing.
Oh, KY, man. Monty, what do you think of KY, man?
KY jelly? I love it.
I have to say.
Oh, wait. That's not what you meant.
That is very BYU land to be like, what do you think of KY? Can't just say Kevin.
Depends. Is it the ointment or the lube? Like which KY product are we talking about?
What, Monty? I was talking about Kevin Young.
Oh, that's right. Here, I'm sorry. Let me hide that caffeinated beverage. My point is, great hire.
Oh, wow.
I get
top class.
It's fine. Dak at the Tubbs. I love Big Daddy Magic and random ass comments like that. He hates BYU like I hate Kansas and America.
And not Putin.
He doesn't hate America. I was kidding. But he hates Navalny, obviously. Well, he did. What in the blue hell is J Dogs? Why is Jay eating his dogs? And what is a Ted Lasso? You don't know what Ted Lasso is. Okay. Ron Nolan. Bleed red, Big Daddy. Keep it coming. Go Utes. Delaric, UC Thule of BYU was signed by the Texans. I did.
Yeah.
I hope he makes it. It's a tough route to be an undrafted free agent. I hope he makes it. I do. Dakota Tubbs, the train doesn't stop except on Fridays. Did you guys see they broke ground on a super train between Vegas and LA? 200 miles an hour.
Smart.
Am I the only one that the first thought is, when are the terrorists going to hit that? That's the first thing I thought. I'm an asshole. I totally get it. Loaner phone. Revenue is the name of the game. Students want what students want are secondary. I agree with that. Giggity. Do BYU students know what KY jelly is? Giggity. That's an honor code violation, sir.
You know.
That's an honor code violation.
Yeah, you better watch yourself.
You know. Shouty. Hey, Shouty. Good morning to you. Mike Smith. Let's get those like totals up. Don't force the Monty Show to be sold to the Saudis.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Whoa. Giggity, that's what they use to soak.
You know,
Mike Smith, super train long overdue in the U.S. Would you guys get on it?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah, for sure. What? What's the problem, dude?
Hey, Siri. How far is it from LA to Las Vegas?
Las Vegas, Nevada is about 269 miles from Los Angeles, California by car.
Hey, Siri. Do you love me?
I think you're pretty great.
A lot.
Hey, Siri, I love you.
That's sweet.
Hey, Siri. Are you hot?
I don't really think about appearance. All I want is to be a helpful assistant.
You gotta get stroked.
Hey, Siri, keep doing a great job. Really appreciate you.
Playing all songs from Apple Music.
And the first thing she plays is a Drake song. So,
yeah.
Honestly, I'd start stroking guys.
Is she still playing it? She is still playing it. Hey, Siri, turn off my music. Thank you. Siri doesn't want any of your KY jelly, Monty.
Yeah.
Exactly, Giggity. It's a loophole in another loophole. Wow. Put down the lube. Delaric, they're working on a super train system here in Texas. Big Blue Horses. If it was true Japanese style high-speed rail, I would ride. While you're riding?
Let's ride.
Problem is there will be a stop every 50 miles, which defeats the purpose of a high-speed anything.
Why would there be a stop every 50 miles?
I don't know. But if can you imagine? Like, you could be there in an hour.
Yeah.
That would be
When's
awesome.
the last time you rode a train? It's been so long.
It's been a while.
Like, I couldn't tell you.
It might be in London. It might be. It very might be. Boyd Lake, I was just going to say I was proud that the Monty Show mentioned BYU, KY jelly, and didn't bring up soaking. But OG Gary went there. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Big Daddy Magic. Hey, player, why do BYU women look like the Duck Dynasty cast? Why are you being mean today, Big Daddy? Like, are you just in that mood? Don't be mean. Dakota Tubbs, have ridden it from Tokyo to Mount Fuji and back. The Japanese maglev trains are legit. Okay. I mean, you know. But why isn't Elon building a train? Are you guys following what's happening at Tesla? My man's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla announced a massive layoff of senior staff. And according to Reuters, the head of the new vehicle department, Daniel Ho, will leave on Tuesday morning. Musk also plans to dismiss everyone working for Ho, including roughly 500 employees who work in the Supercharger group. It was not clear how many employees work for Ho. Tesla's public policy team, which was led by former executive Rohan Patel, will also be dissolved. And layoffs are expected to continue to pare down the 140,473 employees globally as of the end of 2023, which is wild. Ho joined Tesla in 2013. He was the program manager in the development of the Model S, 3, and Y before being put in charge of all new vehicles. This is getting crazy now. And there is rampant speculation that Tesla is getting out of the car business.
Right.
And going into gigafactories and superchargers. How did Tesla fail?
Well, I just think they haven't had a product that's just crushed. You know, like you've sold some cars, obviously, and the brand has grown, but you haven't had like your Honda Civic level profit car, right? Where it's a car that, you know, you can make for a reasonable number, but you also are making, let's call it 20% on, you know, where it's like, hey, we made this car for 30 and we're able to sell it for 45 or whatever.
But I believe, passionately, I believe it's too expensive.
Yeah.
There's too much competition now. I'm not paying $100 minimum for a super truck. You can't get. I was reading
it's a Cybertruck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was reading that shitbox Cybertruck. You can't. You realize right now you can't get your hands on one for under $130,000 for something that's been recalled 3 times already.
Yeah.
And is currently not legally drivable. How?
Yeah. How does that work?
Your median entry point now for Rivian is going to be $38,000. Your median entry point for a Tesla is 56 base, they say.
Yeah, that's rough, bro.
You're getting out competitive. Their competition's doing a better job than you.
Yeah.
Toyota, Lexus. I mean, everybody's got one.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it comes from the Pacific Rim, but it's a superior product. Why are American automakers out on EVs? Too much competition and they're not profitable and won't be for a decade. I'm telling you, it is. I think Tesla got too. I think Tesla fell in love with Tesla, and they never found a way to make a mass market vehicle.
Yeah, and I also think that the thirst for electric from Americans is not where it needs to be highly successful. Like, you know, as you pointed out, like, you know, the EV market from the Japanese automaker is excellent. They make great products, but what do they also do? Like Honda, Nissan, you know, they've all, you know, obviously Lexus, Toyota, they all have their workhorse cars that pay the bills, right? The Camry, you know, the Civic, the Pilot, the CRV, right? These cars that are gas fed, that some offer hybrid, others are just straight up gas vehicles that pay the bills.
Yep.
So that Honda or whatever, you know, whichever company you want to look at doesn't have to be like, oh man, wow, we're really going to have to bump that price up to cover the lack of sales. Like, you're going the wrong direction from a supply and demand standpoint. And that is why people are hesitant to invest in Tesla anymore.
It's not EVs, it's hybrids. That's what people, my wife's new Beamer is a hybrid. It turns itself off. It's got electric start. So that's what people want. And I don't think we as a country, I think across the globe, it's different everywhere you go. I'm telling you, in the United States of America, we are not ready for EVs because we're not like this new report that came out that was doom and gloom and said the world was ending. And I think it said in like hundreds of years from now, the world will have mass extinction. But what's the number one driver of that? Fossil fuels. But we're still not ready to give them up. That's just not who we are as a society.
Yeah.
We're not. And as much as I wanted to get an EV, it's cost prohibitive. I mean, if you look at it's thousands of dollars just to put the charging station in my garage.
Yeah.
When we were looking at getting a Solterra, I think it was $2,000 minimum to put the charging station in our garage. The Waymans bid it out for us, Wayman Brothers Construction. I think it was $2,000 minimum for the electrical. Then you're paying 40, 50 G for the car. It's wild to me. There's just no way that we as a country have embraced that yet. And
you've got the added electricity bill for charging your car at home.
And then you got to ask yourself, how practical is it? I need a 500-mile range EV. Give me a 500-mile range EV, and then we can start talking.
Yeah.
Because driving back and forth to Vegas, I would have had to stop.
Yeah. Or we just need more infrastructure. You need to have charging stations that operate and work the same way a gas station would. At that point, then it's a conversation, because now, like, you notice there's no hesitation to buy a $60,000 gas vehicle, right? No hesitation. Hey, I want the new interiors, and I want this and I want that. And you're not even thinking about, oh, well, am I going to be able to put gas in this? Well, obviously. But with EVs, you have to think about, okay, well, if I'm going, Vegas to LA, I got to go out into the sticks to find a charging station anywhere near that route. And that is the issue.
Once we get to 500 and a legit 500. Well, see, if you fart in the car, that takes off 7 miles.
Well, if it's 10 degrees out, you can only go 200 miles, man.
I need 500 miles of range, and I don't need it to be $135,000. Make me a $35,000 EV that goes 500 miles, and I'll probably buy it.
Yeah.
I'll probably buy it. But the other interesting part of this is, what is Elon doing? And has Elon lost the mystique as a great businessman? Still one of the richest bros on the planet. But look at Tesla, and then look at Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter is 100% failing. They have made a major push. We dealt with this. They email us multiple times a week, advertise on Twitter. Hey, this is
you said
Jimmy.
they call you too.
Called me twice last week. Hey, this is Jimmy at Twitter. Just want to make sure you're having the tweet, because we're a business account and want to make sure you're having the experience.
Yeah.
But I'm not spending on Twitter. I don't even use Twitter. You'll notice that on Twitter, we post the show every day. It live streams on Twitter, and I'll retweet a couple of things. That's it. I don't do notifications. I don't do DMs.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much out on Twitter.
Like very surface level.
Could not even tell you what neighborhood of I probably have 5,000 followers on Twitter. Not of consequence to me. And you want me to spend money on Twitter? I'm not doing it. Not the way it's run now.
Yeah.
And Twitter is at an all-time low every quarter. And this is the thing that Elon's not been able to fix, because he's reinvested in his sales operation, the motor at Twitter. He's reinvested in that. He's hired a CEO. He has layers of management now. But what's he not been able to fix? He's not been able to stem the tide of people leaving X to go other places.
Yeah.
And this is the Truth Social issue. Everybody thought, well, Donnie's on Truth Social, everybody's going to go there. Nobody's gone there. Very small platform. The stock thing. And I think Elon was very smart for taking it private. You look at the Truth Social stock thing. How many people lost their life savings now? And I think 60 Minutes had a story the other day about three diehard Trump supporters who invested in the IPO. And the one guy invested like $500,000 and lost everything because the stock tanked, of course, as everybody knew it would.
Yeah.
He invested $500,000, sold, and got $150,000, and now is back looking for a job. You can't run social media like it's every other company.
Yeah.
And I think Elon, and I think largely the people that run True Social are finding out that the Instagram Meta people, the TikTok people, and you know who else is back? Snapchat. Now at an all-time high for 3 straight quarters of users. But Twitter, struggling. Facebook, struggling. True Social, struggling.
Because what's the point? What is the point? Like, people just go on to Twitter to complain, basically?
I think so.
I mean, right? Like, that's pretty much the behavior we see. I will say, let's say that X were to die and it didn't exist anymore, went out of business. I'm very curious how that would impact the sports world, because that's one of the main uses I have for X. I have notifications set up on Woj and Ross Dellinger and Pete Thamel and, all these different guys, right? Like, that's useful. That allows me to stay in touch with the news cycle while not constantly being on my phone.
Yeah.
And so if that wasn't there, then I would probably go heavy on ESPN notifications at that point, or I don't know. But
I read a ton on Twitter. I just don't interact on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I think it is the number one place for sports news.
Yeah.
And I candidly, we have a ton of people who watch the show on Twitter every week now.
Yeah.
Like the growth of our viewership on Twitter has been fantastic.
Right.
But I think Elon's got to find a way. And I think he really cares about his reputation, which is why he will not come out and publicly talk about the moderation that he's brought back to the platform, because he's brought significant moderation back to the platform. Like his no block, get rid of all the bots thing that was such a rousing failure.
Yeah.
That drove his advertising partners away in droves and drove users away in droves. I don't know how you ever recover that. With him at the helm, I do not believe that Twitter can thrive, because I think people hate the name X.
Yeah.
People hate it. I think people hate that it is such a wasteland of abuse. I think people hate that he took away moderation and racism and anger and vitriol.
Yeah.
Reigned.
Well, and why is that though? Because we can just keyboard warrior it, right?
Yes.
We can say whatever the hell we want and there's no ramifications.
Yes. Yeah. Snapchat sucks, OG Gary says. I'm not a Snapchat guy.
Well, here's the deal though. Snapchat might suck to you, but Snapchat doesn't suck to the 16-year-old.
That's exactly right.
It doesn't suck to the real young folks in this country. And that's why I'm saying, like, with Snapchat, their whole, I was sitting when I was in Tempe 2-3 weeks ago or whatever that was. I'm sitting at this ball game, and these 3 kids these young boys, 3 of them were probably like 12 years old, baseball players, had just got done playing, and they show up to the softball game. We're talking to, this girl and that girl and hanging out and on Snapchat, like being dudes on Snapchat. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, Snapchat is prolific with Gen Z. It is.
Yeah, I agree. Mike Smith, Mountain Mama. Elon likes to champion free speech unless the free speech speaks bad about him or his products. Exactly right.
Yeah.
And he got caught. And I think that's where the tide turned. I think Elon thought that he could just make it an wild, wild west on Twitter. And it was going to be amazing. And then he forgot that blocking people and banning people. Oh, that's right. You said you weren't going to do that. And then people, including media and reporters, and had their accounts turned off because they tweeted and wrote critical things of him. How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Like I think it's what I always say. He never wanted to buy Twitter. Stop. He never wanted it.
Yeah.
He never wanted it. Giggity. Anyone who invests in Trump products deserve to lose their investment. Do your homework. If you invested in True Social on the IPO, you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, you just, come on. Did you really think you were going to make money on that?
Apparently.
Come on. UW fan Jim. My brother gets to work and back on no gas, but can drive across the country on a gas if needed. And I think that's the model you have to run.
Yes.
You can't have, in my opinion, we're not ready for full electric.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm good if you're someone who wants an EV just as a grocery getter. Hey, man, if you got the kind of means to do that, Makes perfect sense to me, right? Keep the miles off the gas car, put the miles on the EV to get gas and go around town and run your errands. Okay, cool, dude. That makes incredible sense to me. But you're never going to have massive across the board tidal wave success with an EV that people don't believe in from a reliability standpoint. If I'm not sure I'm going to make it, I'm not going to take the chance.
And I think Elon's reputation is hurting Tesla.
Yes.
I don't know how else. Like, I think Starlink probably is the greatest thing he's ever done. But how many people associate Elon Musk with Starlink?
When do you ever hear about Starlink?
In Ukraine.
Yeah, but
right? Like, but that's where that was the biggest news splash he had.
Yeah.
But how many people look at his rocket ship business and link him to the rockets? Not many people. How many people look at his EV business and link him to, oh, he is Tesla.
Yeah.
He is the guy at Tesla. He is the guy at X, and they're both failing. And I think it'll be how long?
At some point, there's going to be a shift for Elon.
I think that's exactly right.
At some point, dude's going to have to say, okay, look, we're bleeding and we're getting to a point where death is approaching. We have to start. We got to start band-aiding. We got to start changing our strategies here because we've got to get more revenue in to then increase our profits.
And to me, Elon Musk, Starlink is probably better than SpaceX. SpaceX is fantastic.
Yeah.
But Starlink is, I think those are the two best businesses he's ever had. Giggity. Jake wouldn't still be a virgin if he used Snapchat when he was 16.
Yeah, we're not making any changes.
Exactly right. OG Gary, I follow a lot of financial guys. Jake's a virgin, by the way. And he's proud of that.
Via social media.
It's fine. I follow financial guys and financial stats on Twitter, so I would need another outlet for that. But in reality, I don't see Twitter dying. I think Twitter will continue to contract. And I don't know that it will die, but I think Elon would spin it off if he could.
Something will force his hand.
I think so.
He's not going to have a choice. At some point, whether it's Tesla, Twitter, whatever it is, at some point, I'm just telling you, when you're in business, it's all about the P&L sheet. And at some point, I don't care who you are, that comes back to get you.
Electric charging roads for EVs, $2 million per mile to build. The first one built is in Detroit.
Okay, see, I like this concept. I'm cool with this. But again, now we're getting into federal government territory. Now we're getting into, hey, are we just going to EV road the cities and then on the 15 highway that goes across the entire country, that's not going to be, or what's that look like, man?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Mike Smith, if they make an EV that is cheap and dependable, it would sell. So many people out there just need a cheap, dependable car. Jesus, isn't that the truth?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. EVs can be more reliable than gas motor cars are. But ultimately, again, it's that belief. We don't have structure yet.
Elaine Tran, I hate Elon Musk.
Yeah, you and a lot of people.
A lot of people. I just don't view it as a like-hate thing. When Tesla introduces their new sports coupe, it's coupe, that will be a game changer. I don't know that they ever get there.
And I don't know that would mass sell.
It's expensive.
Great. You know what was funny? Elon did this whole thing where, he pitted the Model 3 against a Porsche 911. And, he's done these videos where the Cybertruck is pulling a Porsche 911 and dragging a 911. And everyone's like, oh, wow, amazing. It's like, cool, dude. Yeah, that might be great that in a straight line you can outperform a 911 like that. But people aren't buying Porsche versus Tesla.
No.
If you're buying a Porsche, it's because you appreciate that car. You understand the car. You want it for a variety of reasons. Porsche and Tesla, from a performance standpoint, don't compete, and Elon doesn't understand that. Elon thinks it's all about, hey, just get to 60 as fast as possible. And it's not. It never has been.
No.
And that's the problem. Like there is always going to be, there are cars that are faster to 60 than Teslas are.
Yep.
And it's just about, again, the P&L sheet. That's not the market you should be going after, Elon. You need to be going after the everyday American who can afford your car.
Yeah, totally agree. Jake is the man. The women only say no when he asks if they've had enough.
I get that.
Mike Smith, Twitter X is good if you are just using it to get news. I use it for college and NFL football news, especially signings and drafts. Who knew I lost another draw on
what?
Sneakers?
What?
It is good if you don't post in it. Just use it for news. Yes, I agree. My brother's Chevy Volt is a 2018. He's never had an issue, but he did spend $3,000 to install the charging station. There you go. Oh my God, Mrs. Monty got him. Oh, she got the Travis Scotts for me. Let's go. That's my bitch. Let's go.
There you go.
Let's go. Let's go. I never win Travis Scott draws. Never.
What Travis Scott is it?
It is the it's a really, I'm excited about it. It's that one.
Yeah, that's a good looking shoe.
Yeah. Yes. The Sail and Dark Mocha. Stoked. The Monty Show, as always, is presented by the Advocates. It's not gas that's killing this country. It's too many shoes. I have no room. Presented by the Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. Where you never pay the Advocates unless and until they win your case. No consultation fees, no big retainers. You guys, they understand that when you need an injury attorney, it's likely the worst day of your life. They use empathy, compassion, and they are dogged in their defense of you. When you want somebody to fight for you and win, you choose the Advocates. Theadvocates.com. Chat with an injury attorney live online, 24/7, 365, and you never pay a dime. Go get them. Theadvocates.com. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.